What's going on, guys?
It didn't start.
Same old, guys. Waiting on YouTube as always. What's going on, Bigfoot World? It seems like I got everything up and ready a little bit late. So hopefully everybody gets their notifications. See what happens, guys. But first things first, is anybody out there? Give it a couple minutes, let the notification go through. To be honest, I totally forgot it was Friday, guys. Yeah, there they come. Not the cat. What's up, man? We'll see what happens with it. My man Carl. Good to see you guys coming in. Hopefully the notifications are getting sent out. We'll see what happens. I don't know what's going on, guys. It was like 7 o'clock, and I realized, wait a minute, it's Friday. I ain't even set up yet, so that nobody knows what's going on. It's like a last minute thing. My fault, guys. I will take that 100%. I appreciate you, Nat. Yeah, it's been, but yeah, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change nothing. People slowly starting to drift in. That's what's up. It's really nothing. It's been an uneventful week for the most part. I got to go out like once this week. Didn't get to record anything. It was like one of them getaway type of things. Get to the woods and just get away. Take a break. But that's what it's been. All right, Bigfoot World. I see you guys coming in. First things first, guys. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know you guys can hear me, see me. Everything's all good. Even though we've been live for the past 10 minutes, it's all good. I just need to know that you guys can hear and see, or do I gotta fix anything? How's little Jeff? He's doing his own thing. He's doing pretty good right now. He's actually got a job watering marijuana plants for the government. He actually tripped into that job, landed it pretty good. I appreciate you, Carl. I see you, man. But just all right. I was trying to get him to get me a job there, but it's just too much you gotta go through to get a job like that. Walking around watering plants, that's like anybody's dream job to come into and just sit there and get paid for that shit. 8 hours watering plants and go home. I need that. But he lucked out. He definitely did. We're up to 10 now. We're getting somewhere. I know the notifications had to be sent out by now. And hopefully we'll be doing the Death Nut Challenge at the end of the live stream. I've been holding on to this thing for a minute, guys. I ain't gonna lie. I've been putting this shit off. This is too much, man. This is what was it? 16 million Scovos. That's some hot shit. I thought the one chip challenge was hot, but this chip, the nuts, man, seemed to be a little bit hotter. And like I said last week, all the videos I watched, man, by the time they get to level 4, they go deaf. And by the time, no, yeah, they go deaf on 4. And when they reach 5, everybody, they never get it down. They usually throw it up by the time they reach level 5. So that's pretty hot. Some of them been going to the hospital, I noticed too. So I've just been, hey, we'll see what happens, how the end comes along. But anyways, into the Bigfoot world, guys, I've been trying to get to the waterfall on a nighttime trip all week. It's just everything stopped me from doing it. I'll try to do it Wednesday night. I was trying to get out there, and everything was charged up. Got halfway out there, out that road that I showed you guys, that long. I don't know if it's a creek bed, old logging road, but it's pretty rutted out. And I was trying to get back through there, and I pulled out my flashlight to see what was. I think it was a big boulder that was out into the road, and I wanted to see if I could get around it. So I pulled the flashlight out, and it was dead. I charged that thing for 2 days and get it out there, and it's, man, that thing. I don't know what's going on with it. I think I need some new lights because I know I ain't blaming the paranormal shit, but it's just weird. Because then when I came home, the other one started working. I had two flashlights to go out there with, and either one of them would work. And when I came home, one was working, the other one wouldn't. So I don't know. I don't know what was up with that one. It was just a bad night, bad trip. I just wasn't meant to be. Something was telling me, don't do it. Don't do the net. It's for a good cause, man. I'm gonna do the well. I definitely don't want to, but it's definitely for a good cause. The first three people were last week was two people hit the cash app. So the next three people that hit the cash app, I'll be doing the death net at the end. Do you think Bigfoot has something to do with the paranormal? I don't. I don't. I don't at all. I think, to be honest, I think it's just these forests in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania been here since what, 1776. There have been so many civil wars, so many things that happen in this area. So it has a lot of history going on. I think a lot of native Indians used to live here. I think it has a lot to do with that stuff. Gettysburg, Jamalsville. There's so many different spots that had war that happened there, and I think that's has a lot to do with it. The one time in Moyland, if you guys, some of you old time subscribers remember, I was walking through Moyland and I was coming up in between these two gigantic boulders. There was like 8, 9 foot boulders, and I was going up, try to go up in between them. And on my right, the boulder on the right, this, I don't know if it was a Confederate soldier or what, but a soldier came out of that rock with one of them swords at the end of the rifle, and the strap was hung up on that blade there. And when he's coming out, he was like wrestling with that blade, and I like fell back, and like I just broke down crying. The dude disappeared over top of me. That was like my first paranormal experience in real life, and that I didn't know how to take that. I just laid there and bawled right on video, man. That freaked me out so bad. I don't know if he could have hurt me or what he could have did or what that was about, but that was some weird shit. He seemed so real, so solid when he came out of that rock, and he right over top of me, he just faded out, disappeared like it wasn't, never happened. I was questioning myself: am I going crazy? Did I lose it? Did something in my head snap? What am I seeing? Shit, you know what I mean? There was just so many things going through my mind when I seen that shit. And then the next paranormal was out Sheila's World, if you guys remember that trip. The first time out Sheila's World, just checking it out, she told me how to get up to the waterfall and to their cave where they live at and shit. So I wanted to go to the waterfall first. And once I got like maybe 50 feet, 75 feet from the waterfall, you kept hearing this little girl saying, "Get in here, Jonas is coming. She gonna get you. Jonas is gonna get you." And she kept saying that the whole time I was walking up toward the waterfall, and like in my ear, she said, "Hurry up, get in here. Jonas is coming." And it's just like I froze. I just stood there for a second trying to figure out where it was coming from. It just, that blew my mind that she kept saying that. And when I went home and reviewed the footage, it was certain ways that you pause it on the waterfall, you can see a little girl in Indian dress standing in the waterfall. And I think she was telling me to come into the waterfall before somebody gets me. So I Googled like Jonas in Pennsylvania, and it turns out he was an evil chief Indian that used to do bad things to his tribe members, and then I guess they casted him out or something like that. But he was an evil person towards his tribe, and it was just amazing that you can find a story to back up what that little girl was saying. It blew my mind. That was the first. It's on this channel actually. It's like the first trip to Sheila's world that happened to me, and it picked up loud and clear on video that she was saying, "Hurry up, get in here. Jonas is coming. She's going to hear you." It's like it blew my mind, man. And then it just like it kept happening. Different things going within this 10, 12 year period of me actually going out into the forest looking for Bigfoot. There's been so many different paranormal events that happen. Like that time at the I was on top of the maze, no, the cave by myself, and there were structures going around the hole. And I bent over to show you guys that that tree didn't belong there, that it was placed there. And when I picked it up, this dark, evil voice said, "You're sick." I mean, it was all around me and it freaked me out. I was like, "Who's there? Where you at?" Like, I didn't know what the hell it was, but it sounded so demonic and dark. Just who's there? Inside the cave, that little girl saying, "Mommy," like asking me in a sense, "Are you my mom?" That shit, it blew my mind, man. This the paranormal is really real. That's not a yeah, it never really was a question, but to see it firsthand and then over and over encounters. The last time me and Kayla went up there with the dogs, a voice said, "Run." Like out of nowhere, we found the bones, shine down on the bones, and it said, "Run." I didn't hear that one. I didn't hear it till later on, what editing the video. That blew my mind, man. What's going on, Mom? I see you. Let me get caught up on you guys' comments real quick. I see you guys rolling in. I appreciate you. Don't use a nut, man. A bayonet. That's what it was. It was the blade coming off of the rifle. That's exactly what it was called, a bayonet. And there's a strap, and he was trying to fight the strap off of that. It's like my mind was thinking that's how he got killed. That he was trying to fight that strap off of that blade, and he ended up getting killed. And that strap got him killed. It's like the feeling I got when it's like I felt so sad for him. Hey, sister, I see you. What's going on, man? But that's like the feeling I got that bayonet thing or the strap over that blade holding up on it. He couldn't do nothing with it because of that strap, and maybe that what got him killed or how he got killed or whatever. I should. I got the equipment. I got the paranormal equipment. Like the recorder, the ghost box. I got the EVP meter. I got some well, not EVP meter, EMF meter. There's so much I can just take out there and just see, just ask questions in that area. I thought about doing that, but this is a Bigfoot channel, so it would have to go over on the Jeff's Real World, and it's been a long time since I uploaded onto that. Unless I just start mixing everything up on this channel, I don't know. I don't know because some of you guys don't like the paranormal shit, and you want no parts of it. And for the most part, I really don't either because even though I've experienced a lot of it, that's something you just can't get used to. It scares the shit out of me, especially with this shadow thing that's been following me around for years. That's what I was saying, John. It definitely does follow it. Something latched on to me. I believe I picked something up in that cave. Something came home from that cave. Fred was possessed for 2 months. We couldn't get no help from the hospital. We couldn't get no help from the churches. He pretty much had to fight that one off himself. And I mean, there was so much that happened in that cave. I don't want no parts of that cave. And it's and then you gotta ask yourself, is that have anything to do why they sealed it up like that? Because of the experiences we was having in there and documenting on film. the sounds, the monkey sounds, everything that was going on inside that cave, man, they shut that down for a reason. That when I found the three-toed tracks, this gnat is just on my nerves. Where did he come from? It's like 30 degrees outside. Why is there a gnat in the house? But anyways, that damn thing made me forget what I was saying. Oh, why they shut that? When I found them three-toed tracks, them two sets of three-toed tracks going down into that cave, going up toward that cave. That weekend, I came back. Well, I followed the tracks to see where it went, and they went to that rock face, like 100-foot rock face. And when I went up around to come up on top, trying to pick up where they left off, I couldn't find them. Sometimes you're right, Mike, but I've done that many times, and he's still here. I think he gets stronger. He gets worse sometimes. So I just play like it ain't here and acknowledge it and keep it moving. I don't mess with it. What's going on, John? I see. Yeah, he's good now. He's all right now. It was like that for like a month and a half, 2 months. Listen, he was not Fred. He would look straight through you. When he was possessed, it was like he stared a whole right. He looked right past you. He was like gone. You could see he was gone. There was times the cities had to bring him home. He's out on the highway, butt naked, blocking traffic. Yeah, I mean, he was just doing stuff that Fred normally would never do. And I tried to take him to the hospital myself. They wouldn't do nothing because he couldn't sign a consent. He wasn't in the right mind to sign anything, so they couldn't do nothing to him. And the church couldn't do nothing to him until the hospital declared him okay. And it was just a mess, man. It was a nightmare. Fred ain't never went back to that cave since. And another there was a channel on the history. I forget who it was, but they did something on that, and they actually broke down my footage and seen where I was going. We was going in, and I was praying. Every time I go into someplace dangerous, I always say, like, God watch over me, give us the strength to get through this, or something of that along them natures. And when I was saying that going in, something in my around me said that was weak. Like I didn't believe in what I was saying, type of shit. And when I looked over at Fred with the camera and the asking, "Did you hear that? What was that?" You know what I mean? His feet got ripped out from under him, and he almost landed up on his neck. We was on a downhill slope climbing down into the cave, and he ended up on his top of his neck, straight back. It's like, oh my God, let's get out of here. This shit is not worth it. Let's just we ended up getting up out. We took a couple minute break, and there, Fred, this for the fans. Let's just go in there and see what's going on for the fans. And we ended up going back in there, and we kept going back in there, and until he got that happened to him, and then we just stopped going back in there. I don't think it was a Thunderbird. If you go back onto that video, it's called WTF is that, and there's 4 parts, 1 through 4, going all the way through in there tracking it. The best footage of them prints is probably on part 4, because that when it's walking and it closes its feet up to punch through the ice, and then the next step it opened its feet and yeah, I mean kept continue walking. But it's I chased. I don't know what that thing is. I don't think it's a bird. I feel like it sounds crazy, but to me, when I seen it, it's like 16 inches long. The other one was like 8 inches, and I feel like it was like some breed of a dinosaur or reptilian. The back heel part looked like a human heel, and then it went up into the three-toed claws, and that's some people say emu. When that first happened, I've looked at every animal around here's tracks, every animal that don't belong here's tracks, and I even went back to look up dinosaur tracks. And the closest thing that I found was something. It was like the cousin to the T Rex. I forget the name of it. It was a cousin to the T Rex, but the print matched perfectly the way the heel was, and then it went up into the three. It was definitely something along them lines. I mean, you guys are leaning on a super bird, super bat, something big. It was something big, and it could be. I'm not saying it ain't, but what I've looked up at that time it happened was I found the closest thing to that track was the cousin of a T Rex. Now, if something shifted inside that cave and released some shit, I don't know. But when I found them tracks, I went back. I followed them, and then I went back the next weekend, the following weekend, because it was during hunting season, and you're not allowed to hunt on Sunday. So I had to wait till the following Sunday to go back in and check it out, right? So I go back in there, and they had the whole front sealed up. And now they didn't just seal this cave up; they freaking put two walls up of sheeting, steel sheeting, tin sheeting, two walls up, right? And then in between the two walls of sheeting, they filled it up with concrete the whole way up. So the whole front entrance is two walls of sheeting and concrete in the middle, and then they ran like braces the whole way up through there. Nothing's getting in and nothing's getting out. On the top part, on the holes that's going in, they put them big steel cages. You guys seen it? You seen what they did? They put them big steel cages over top of the smaller holes to where nothing's coming out, nothing's going in. And then they put camera facing camera the whole way through the top. And government is fairly restricted. You such and such amount of fines and so much time in jail if you get caught. Why did they do that in a week's time of me finding them tracks? You know what I mean? It don't take an Einstein to see that I stumbled on some dumb shit and I shouldn't have found, and they sealed that shit up to keep me away from it or keep that thing away from us, whatever it may be. But it revolves around them tracks. I strongly believe. You're still waiting for another view of the big hole. I've been getting a lot of comments about that. To go back down in to see if they finished filling it in. I think they filled it in and it started sinking through for the most part. That big hole opened right back up. But I'm gonna go out there and I want to see. I'm gonna check for myself. I want to check it out too. I definitely want to check it out just to see what changed. And right after they sealed all that up and they put the signs up and did all what they did, that's when they took the cameras down. Like they didn't need the surveillance no more. It's sealed up. It's done with. It's dealt with. They took all the cameras down and moved on with it. I see you, big headed Martian. I appreciate you, man. I already know. I already know. I do watch what I say. There's a lot that I want to say that I don't say just because of that. And you're right. You're right. I kind of keep it PG. I only say certain shit because there's a lot going inside that cave. Like I ain't going to touch base with it, but I've been I've been there since it's been sealed up. I've seen some crazy shit, and you some of you guys, the long time followers, know what I'm talking about. Me and Ferret, we went back after it was sealed up, and I never released that footage. Never released that footage. I still have it. What I seen, guys, it blew my mind, and I'm gonna go ahead. I've seen two by fours inside the wall, inside the rock, inside there. When we went in, this wasn't in there before. There's lights in there now. There's some kind of boxes, cage boxes in there, monitoring boxes with cameras inside of them, with wire mesh box over top of the cameras. There's two by fours, like steps going into the rock. Like there's the rock is perfectly curved for these two by fours to go into the wall, and they're climbing up the rock. I don't know what that's for or what that was about, or maybe there's a higher ledge going up in, but I've never seen two by fours perfectly fitted into a rock like that. The way they got it, like it's the 2x4 was melted inside the rock. Nah, I don't know about that. That can get me in some. That's why I never released it. But I've been in there. I've seen what the changes. They have strings of lights from front to back the whole way through now. Like they about to start going back to work, but they ain't. They still it completely up. And there's monitoring cameras on every corner of the place. And we went in right back out because as soon as you go past them, the cameras light up. They turn from red to blue. And that's what caught my eyes. Like, hold on, there's lights over here. And I went up, put my face right in the shit, and it turned blue. Let's go. It's time to go, man. Is the dent still in the steel plate? I haven't been down there in so long into the front entrance. I always walk up around to the back. But I'm gonna show you guys this week. This week I'm gonna go down there and check that out. I'm gonna show you guys what I was talking about. The front entrances, all the work that they did to seal that up, the plaque that they posted on it, how much trouble you can get into with it. I'm gonna share that shit with you next week, and you be the judge with it. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna tell you this is why they did it, or I mean, the timely fashion that everything happened from the time I found the tracks. The following Sunday, I went out and it's fairly restricted, and they started sealing it up. I mean, it is what it is. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it alone with that. But it's weird in there. I don't know. They created some kind of habitat for something down in there and sealed it up and left it and just left them. You know what I mean? Maybe they're studying it, whatever it is, by watching it. There's at least 50 cameras from front to back. Every every time it bends off, there's a camera. Every left turn, there's a camera on. Covers every inch, every square inch inside of that place is covered. You're not getting in there and without being noticed. It's not going to happen. So the cameras inside still there, but the ones up above, I think they took them out because I haven't seen any the last few times that I walked through there. I'm a high power laser pointer into the cam should mess it up. Yeah, but there's a lot, man. Every so many feet, there's a box. There's a wire mesh box with the camera inside, and going through there, you ain't gonna get all of them. They're gonna get you. I ain't playing with it. I ain't messing with it. It ain't worth it. Not to me. I seen it once. I don't need to see it again. I do have footage of it. I don't know if I do actually or not anymore, because I forgot that my shit crashed and I had to get work done to it. But it should be still on there somewhere. That's a good point. I don't know. That's just it. I don't know where they're going in at. The only place I can think of that they might be going in is that big hole down where the big hole entrance. They filled it in. If you remember, they put that big massive pipe going down into where the hole was, and then they filled around the hole, and they put that cage over top of that hole, that whatever you want to call it, the lid over top of that hole where nobody can get in or out. But there's bolts that you can unscrew to take off and slide down in with a rope if need be. I think that might be where they're getting it. The officials are getting in and out. I think that's their access point. I think that might be the only real access point left, other than the one that I know about. And I didn't kick it in. Something else either came out of there, and they dug their way out after they put them cages out around the cage, but something broke out of there or broke in. The rocks are busted out, and there's a hole dug all the way up around the cage. Something is coming in and out of there. They tried to seal something up and keep it in, but it didn't. It didn't work. They found their way out. They're still getting in and out of there. I'd like to put a deer cam on that. Actually, now that we're talking about it, I would like to take a deer cam and just for a couple of months, even through the winter, and just leave it on that. Or if I can get two cameras, put one on their entrance, on the officials' entrance going in and out, and the creature's entrance going in and out. It's got to come up sooner or later, whether it knows the camera's there or not. It's got to come out, and when it does, he gonna catch him. That camera gonna catch it. So I like to leave it just for the winter, man. At least for the winter, couple months, 3 months maybe. You'll catch a lot in 3 months out there. Yeah, they knew I was there. There's no doubt about that. But I didn't want to give them no proof that I was there more than they already had. No, they don't. But they don't want us messing with it. I think that's what it comes down to. Whatever it is, they don't want us in there. They don't want us messing with it. Right. You're right. You're right, Carl. But you guys do have some good ideas. I might this week. I might put some batteries in that trail cam until somebody claim it and see what happened, man. See what happened. Put it to work. I think that's what I'm gonna do this week. Man, that cave there, I bet it's got to be at least 100 feet from ceiling to ground. It's every bit 100 feet. And one part, there's a hole coming out with a waterfall dropping down into that cave. It's a beautiful cave. It's an interesting cave going in there, but it's just that place is. I looked up the history on that cave. Back in the 1800s, when they used to have they went out, the men went off to war, so they made the women and children go off to work to provide, and they was working the women and children inside that whatever it was. They was mining ore, and then it turned into stone quarry. But when they was in there, there was an explosion, and that big hole caved down in. There's supposed to be like 66 bodies on top of that rubbish, underneath all that rubbish, and that's where the voices and all the paranormal shit, the possessions. I think it came from that accident. All the women and children that got killed in that mine back in. That's why it got closed down, because there was an explosion there, and it wiped a lot of people out. And that little girl backed that up, because when you're walking through there, you'll hear her say, "Mommy, are you my mommy?" Like, in the sense, when she said "mommy," she was saying it like asking us the question, "Are you my mom?" And that there's just a bad feeling, man. And everywhere we went, she would follow us, and it would just randomly it'll happen. Are you my mommy? It's just freaky shit inside that cave, man. It really is. I would love to take you guys on the trip through that. After midnight, that place wakes. It comes to life. It was like 1 a.m. Me and Fred still down there trying to do that overnight challenge, and we're sitting down in one part where we set up like our main base, and we had glow sticks all the way around, surrounded our whole like main area where we was at, and around 1:30, the whole thing, you hear it sound like machines starting up. This one guy saying, we need some concrete. We need more concrete. Just like they went back to work. Like they're still, like it's a residual ghost, and they're still working. After a certain time, that place comes so to life, man. It's creepy. It's not a feeling. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's a massive place. Massive place. You can stack 4 or 5 18-wheelers up and pull them in there. That's how high them ceilings are. That place is massive, but it's creepy. It really is creepy. That's one of the creepiest, most haunted places I've ever experienced in my life. I've been, I've seen some weird shit, but that cave by far was the scariest I've ever. We left. We ended up leaving. We found our way out. Me and Fred walked miles. We got dropped off up there to do the overnight challenge, and we were supposed to get picked up like 7, 8 o'clock that morning, and 2 o'clock we headed off that mountain. We walked for miles to get down home. By the time we got home, it was time for us to get picked up. That's how scared we was. We didn't want no parts of that cave. I couldn't do it no more. I couldn't do it. I was shaking. My whole body was just hurting from shaking, being scared. Couldn't do it no more. I had to get out of there. Y'all stayed in there with Money Mike. It was crazy, and we kept messing with Mike, trying to make light of it, and it was just bad because Mike was so scared. He kept hearing the voices and the sounds and the rocks being thrown, ricocheting off of Mike. He ain't been to the woods since, man. We broke him from the forest. He knows what's in there, and he don't want no parts of it. He know about Bigfoot. He know about the paranormal shit, and he wants no parts of it. I've only heard the females in that cave area. All the other times and all the no, Sheila's world. That little girl kept saying, "Get in here." You're right. You might be right because she kept saying, "Jonas is gonna get you. Come in here. Get in here before he gets you." She was saying full sentences, and I could hear it. Like there was a person hollering at me, like, "Come on, he's gonna get you. Jonas is gonna get you." That's some freaky shit, and you might be right. It might have been trying to bait me to get wherever it wanted me to go. It, that's some creepy shit. Just to think about it, man. It's weird. With man, it's weird. The paranormal world is just something we don't know about. Now, Bigfoot, you're right. You're right, Snoopy. They can definitely mimic voices. There was a time we was deep down in the ravine. Me and Fred was down there getting ready to film, and my two uncles was coming through on quads, coming out that logging trail, and they stopped. We stopped bullshit with them for a couple minutes, and they, after we was done, they started the quads up and they took off up the other side of the mountain. You can hear him screaming way like a couple miles off. You can hear him still, the engine's still racing. And once they made it clean up to the top, down deep down into the in from the ravine, you hear Jeff, Jeff. Like it screamed my name twice. Fred, we looked at each other like, and Fred said, "Call your uncle. Maybe he wrecked a bike." But I could still hear him screaming up the top of the mountain, and it came from down. But like that's the first thing he said was, "Call your uncle. Maybe he wrecked the bike," because it was that clear, that it was loud, and he just echoed through the mountain, screamed my name, man. That and it was. I called him and called him, and finally I got a hold of him. He said, "No, I kept it going. We headed up over to Betty Knox. We didn't stop nowhere. I didn't call you." That's some creepy shit. They know my name down there. They screamed my name twice. Yeah, I can. I ain't got. That's not a spot I want to try to hide. It's right up in going up Hardy Hill and Dunbar Mountain. It's Old Stone Quarry. Going up Dunbar Mountain. Um, there isn't the guy. I've found the dude's channel that has the gifting site up on the far right side of that place. What is that? Dunbar. Damn. What is it, Mom? Dunbar Bigfoot, Dunbar Sasquatch, some shit like that. That's a guy who took my ropes, my deer cans, and then posted why he was taking it. It was like, I think my mom's one put me on to him. You guys donated the climbing ropes, the climbing harnesses, and everything. And I ended up I stashed them out there to come back and the next day because I was going to have Kan's brother climb down in and film it. And when we came back out, freaking the ropes and everything was gone. They took off. And then my mom sent me a video. Is this the guy that took them ropes? And it shows him walking up to the hole, going over to the backside of the bush. Oh, what is this? I found a treat and started wrapping my shit up and hauling my shit off. So if you watch it, man, I like to get them back if I can. I appreciate you. If not, it is what it is. It was my mistake for even leaving them out there. But that's where it is. It's up on Hardy Hill up in Dunbar. We can actually um Dunbar Sasquatch. Yep. That's what it is, man. That's him. Well. That's who got the gift site. And that's another thing while we're on the gift site spot. If you guys notice, when I first get up in there, I start at that gift site and then climb up in. That gift site's wiped out. The rock that the gift site was on is total. This boulder was like 1,000 pound boulder, and the dude started leaving marbles, different things, and then I think it would come and leave different stick structures. It would leave bones. They was doing something. They had some good things going on. They was definitely making switches. The Bigfoot would come and leave something, and then he would come and bring something and leave something. And I was kind of on the sidelines watching. You know what I mean? And they had a good thing going because the Bigfoot was coming and they was leaving shit behind, and they don't never leave a trace too often. And the guy would bring something else. I think the bigger marbles he would leave, and then the Bigfoot would come and bring a whole skull and leave it later. But now the whole thing is like the whole boulder is gone. Everything on the couple 1,000 pound boulder is gone. I think he was making fun of me. He was definitely making fun of me at the end of that video. He watching my videos. He followed me out there, and he started doing his own thing out there. What happened? But it is what it is. I'm not mad. What's going on, Money Mike? Good to see you, man. We just talking about your ass. You need to get back out to the woods with me, man. You need to get back out to the woods with me. You and Jeff. And actually, we're supposed to got a date to go to the damn shooting range. Maybe this weekend you guys ain't doing nothing. We disappear and go to the shooting range for a little bit. My man Carl was supposed to come tonight. We supposed to be going to the woods all this weekend, but everything, life is one thing after another, guys. One thing after another. Just everything pops up, man. You can't predict what's going to happen, and everything keep with these hurricanes and everything going on. We're gonna come up with a plan and stick with it. Whether somebody get run over or the dog run away, it don't matter. We're gonna make this shit happen. We're gonna forget everything, put pause on life, and we're gonna get to the woods. Carl's gonna bring his ass out here. We're gonna hit the woods. But guys, again about that time. First, next three people to hit the cash app, I will be doing the Death Nut 3.0. It's 55 million Scovos. That's like blow my heart out. Ambulance on standby type shit, and everything going for a good cause. It's helped me get back on my feet, get off my knees and on my feet. My plan was for me and Carl was going to do a Friday Night Live, and you guys get to meet him, and then we're just gonna hit the woods for the weekend, man. Do I still have Cookie? Where would she be? You know that I had Cookie since she was 5 weeks, 4 weeks old. So she's, man, that's my kid. That's one of my kids. Actually, it's her kid because she keeps sicking my damn dog on me. This is how smart Cookie is. I go in there, start messing with Kayla, wrestling with her and shit, and then she'll sick my dog. Get him. She gets me. She starts tearing my ass up, and she's so quick with the Chihuahua shit. Like, oh, bite his feet. There she goes after my toes. Like everything she told him to bite, that little bitch was tearing my ass up. Bite his feet. I'm running across the house trying to get her off my feet. And Chihuahuas are quick. Chihuahuas do not play when they come. When you piss them off, especially when she was pregnant, man, I couldn't get near her. I tried to put my hand up and slap her on the leg. Cookie would tear my ass up, jump over her, then dive onto me and just jack me up. That's her dog now. She's 10 years old now. She getting up in age. Her whole right side of her face is turning gray. She's an old bitch. She mean, but that's her dog now. She turned on me. Everything she says, she does. Go outside and piss, and she gone. She get in the cage. She's just her dog. I lost her to her, to Kayla. She got my dog now. But yeah, she's born on the 4th of July, 10 years ago. She's protective. They're all protective. Zeus, They look after that baby. TJ, man, I can't go near them. I gotta like sneak my way and inch my way in, or they tear my ass up. They don't want me around the baby. It's like I ain't the dad. Can I be a part of this? They don't want me near him. But it's a good thing though. Ain't nobody coming around that baby, and I ain't gotta worry about anything happening because they will stop that shit for sure. They will stop it. And I see you, Damon. I definitely appreciate that, man. 420 in the building. Not for me. I'm too broke for that 420 shit. You still think it? Yeah. I was just catching up on you guys' comments real quick. What's going on, Lord? Man, we ain't gonna get on the CERN. Man, I've been watching them since day one. That's a whole nother conversation we ain't even got time for. Guys, CERN, periodically I will talk about CERN. I brought it up a handful of times. I watched the first collide, the first time they collided, and I've watched the live cams. I watched the parking lot open up to that black hole and suck all them cars in. And the next thing they released, they contained it at the mountain. I don't think they contained anything, man. I think they opened up a black hole, swallowed the world up, and now we in some 3-dimensional shit. I don't know what happened, but ever since they did that, we've been having the Mandela effect. People seeing shit. That there's people that's live that I remember being dead. Um, Charles Manson. Charles Manson. I remember my mom's boyfriend was in the federal prison with him. He was a couple cells down. They uh, they ran in Charles Manson's cell. They caught him on fire. They burned him up in his cell. I remember this. They put him on 23, 24-hour lockdown because he had on federal, you have weekend furloughs where you can leave. And when they did that, when they burned Charles Manson up in the cell, they put him on lockdown and he wasn't able to get that furlough for the weekend. And we ended up driving from PA to New York to pick him up for nothing because they burnt Charles Manson up. And then here just recently come to find out this man's died in a damn hospital of old age. It's like I know that he was burned up in his cell because it affected my mom with her boyfriend, and it's crazy. Nah, the Cash App that don't count. Cash App that that don't count. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm not that type of dude. It does count. So the next two people to hit the Cash App, I'll do the death nut before I end the live stream. I'll do all 5 challenges from 1 through 5, 55 million skull votes for the next 2 people to hit the Cash App. I'll check it before I end it. And if 2 people hit that Cash App, I will be doing it. And then you're gonna have to call EMS before it's over with. And we just spend the night in the hospital. So let's do it, guys. But CERN is something, man. And now that like a week after that shit happened, you can't find that meltdown video anywhere. It used to be called on YouTube CERN's meltdown. I think it was like 2012, 2011. CERN's big meltdown. You can't find it nowhere. It's nowhere. I've tried to reword it, word it. That video it's gone. It should count. It count, Mom. It's counting. There was 2 last week, and we'll count that one. That's 3. 2 more. The next 2 people that hit the Cash App, I will be doing the death nut. But CERN, I keep going back and forth. I'm reading the comments. My fault, guys. But you're right. CERN is pure evil. I've seen stories that they brought some shit in by opening that shit up, them portals. They're missing a couple scientists got sucked in, and I'm hearing a lot of weird shit. But the thing that I know for certain is when they clouded them particles together and smashed them particles, that shit opened up. I watched that live. I watched the underground. I watched the black ball open up underground, and then you see the parking lot just spread. It was crazy. It was crazy. I watched that thing 100 times, hundred over 100 times. I just kept watching it. The zeros, that's what it is. The Cash App link is in the description below, guys. And for you guys that streams, I just remembered for those of you do live streams, and you're having problems with just using YouTube. A lot of times the platform wants you to use another platform, and that's what I use. I use StreamYard, guys. um, I can do just about anything with it. I can add people on. Like if one of you guys want to jump on and BS with me, I can bring you in. StreamYard it works pretty well when it comes to live stream. You can also do recordings, and I'm gonna probably later in the future start doing reaction videos to some of my videos because you guys miss a lot, and I see it on the comments. Like you guys miss so much in the videos, and I think I'm gonna go through some of the main ones, some of the good ones, and just do reaction, just bring it out and show you guys like this is what you missed when you watching this type of stuff. And I've been doing that through StreamYard. I also left that link in the description for you streamers that want something easy to use, and it's really effective. It works perfect. And like last week, I still learning to use it, and I had the screen real small. I was playing with it, tinkering with it, but it's it's pretty decent. It works well if you once you figure everything out. Can I go back to full screen? It's not fixed. See, it's still broke from last week. I don't know. I thought I fixed it this week. I wasn't trying to mess with that because of that. Man, it's getting hot in here, and I ain't even messed with them nuts yet. 55 million Scoville. I'll really be sweating. I'm gonna have to strip butt naked on this shit. But it's about that time, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and check and see if we got the two on the Cash App, and are we gonna be doing that? Because it's about that time to be getting out of here. It's not back to full size. I'll mess with it. I'm gonna learn mess with it a little bit more, and I'll get it back for next week. But this week, guys, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna try my hardest, man. I'm definitely gonna try. Money's been tight with it, with getting everything what I need to get the shit done. But this week, I'm gonna try to get out. I want to get to the federally restricted lands. I want to get out there and film what's different. Check out the big hole, and I want to go to the waterfall at night. I will be going to the waterfall at night. I'll probably be going to the waterfall at night before I go to the restricted lanes. That's probably the way it's going to go. But let me check my phone, Cash App, see if we got the two people on there, which I don't see no notifications. I might have lucked out again this week. Nope. So it looks like we'll be putting this off again for next week. It's gonna count this week and last week counts, guys. Two more people that hit the Cash App. Next Friday Night Live, I'll be doing the 3.0 Death Nut. With that being said, guys, I'm trying to get my ass out there. Stay tuned for this next crazy ass adventure. And let's see what happens. Let's see what happens this week. Let's see if I can make it out there. Stay tuned, guys.